So, imagine this. You have $1 or euro or whatever your preferred currency is. You want to buy a loaf of bread for 2 euros. You look at your €1 coin and value it about 5 euros. You go to the clerk and offer her your coin. She looks weird at you and tells you that this is not enough. How can this be? You thought the value of money was subjective. Your subjective evaluation of this coin was 5 euros and the objective value is under a cent. Where does this valuation of €1 come from, if only subjective and objective realities matter? This is where the often neglected reality exists. Intersubjective reality. Intersubjective reality refers to the agreement within a group about values and beliefs and norms or just things in general. It contrasts with objective reality since this is independent of human experience, and a subjective reality since this is just in one person and their experiences or knowledge. I did not come up with this concept. I first read about it in this book. He's not the one to come up with this idea, but he's the one that I used to kind of flesh out my concrete knowledge about this thing. I'll probably read more about this in the future, so I might even follow this video up with another video. But this is a fairly accessible subject, so this video will be mostly just my thoughts and my interpretations of the whole thing. Let's imagine this. You're teleported to a land where the people all believe in a flying transformer in the sky. The people of this land built a giant helicopter transformer to represent this transformer. When asking the people whether they thought this helicopter transformer was the real transformer, they looked at you weirdly and said, no, it's a statue in the sky that represents the transformer. So, in a weird manic episode, you replace the transformer's head with a lion's head. How? We have yet to find out. What do you think the people would do? They would probably punish you harshly. So, you're back in our world. All the people believe in borders and countries. The people here built little posts to represent this border. When asking the people whether they thought these posts are the real border, they looked at you weirdly and said, no, it's a post that represents the border. So, in a weird manic episode, you move a couple of posts a couple of kilometers to the south. How? We have yet to find out. What do you think you just caused? You'll probably get punished if the problem gets sorted out, or in the worst case, you just might have started a war. Do you see the parallels? First, there is an agreed upon idea, either the flying transformer or the borders. Then there's a representation of the idea, either the helicopter transformer or the posts. And then there's a recognition of this idea not being real, but still, when it is changed, there's a very strong reaction to this change. By the way, this is where I differ from what the author says. The author says that religion is an intersubjective reality as well. I feel like there's a meaningful difference between these two, or at least there are some subcategories which are not mentioned within this intersubjective reality, in which religion can be part of these categories. To elaborate, I feel that the difference is in that people can recognize the unrealness of the idea. For example, we know money is not real, borders are made up, norms are agreed upon between people, and stuff like this. We know that's not really real, or at least not out there in the world, so it's not objective reality. In religion, people truly believe something to be real. You will never hear a religious person telling you that God is not real. Religious people believe that God is part of objective reality, while people believe that money and borders are not. An easy way to check whether something is in objective reality or in intersubjective reality is whether it would still exist when all humans are gone. Ask a religious person if God would still exist if all humans are gone, and they would say yes. Ask a banker if money would still exist if all humans are gone, and he would say no. This whole idea is just based on the subject within the intersubjective reality or religion, by the way. I haven't fully fleshed this idea out, but this was my most instinctual take on the whole thing. Another interesting thing is that although we recognize the intersubjectivity of money and borders, we still act like these things are objective. We experience conflict when different intersubjective realities collide, for example, border conflicts. Or the example I gave in the beginning. It is fairly funny that we can experience conflict over something which is not really real. And I know that saying it's not really real, I might even myself take issue with, because what does it mean to be real? But still, it's not part of objective reality, which is what most people would call real. And I'll add to this, even while recognizing this unrealness, I still can't reject this reaction. I still am a firm believer in those borders, and I will experience conflict when someone infringes upon these borders, even though I will still be able to recognize that these are not really there. We made them up. Although these things are not really out there, they still have very real consequences for the people within them and people who come in contact with them. And then I would ask you, are these ideas only real in their consequences, or are they actually out there? And what does it mean to be real? I thank you for your attention today, and I truly hope that you enjoyed this one. I find this subject wildly interesting, and I hope you share that interest with me. I've already bought the book by John Searle, or Searle, I don't know how to pronounce it, and I might even do a follow-up on this video with the things that I learn in the book. I will do so if I encounter any ideas that I find really interesting and I haven't mentioned in this video already. So, like I said, I really hope that you find it as interesting as I do, and that you might even think about it yourself on your own. Leave a comment if you don't really understand something, or maybe disagree with me, or just want to add something in general. I would really appreciate it. To me, it makes it even more fun to make these videos. I enjoy thinking about this, but it's fun when we can engage with each other, maybe for both of us. So, have a good day, and thank you for watching.